Funsies.
Funsies.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Listography. Here with Joe and Kramzer as always. We just finished wrapping up our Who Listography, counting down their 12 studio albums. Now we're going to get into our favorite Who songs, doing a top 10 each.
I'll lead it off since Joe started the discography. Like I said in the albums video, if I'm being honest, it would be all pieces of stuff from Tommy, but I limited myself to just one, which will be at number 1. But let's start with number 10. I've got Substitute. Awesome lyrics, really cool, just like acoustic heavy lead part, translates live really well. Number 9, probably the oldest, well, on the same timeline as Substitute, I guess. Our Love Was from Who Sell Out, a really sweet, angelic kind of melodic song from there. Number 8, I've got The Real Me from Quadrophenia. Joe was touching on the bass performance by Entwistle together with the drums and then the horns. It's so bombastic and awesome. Number 7, I've got Who Are You? One of my favorite moments in rock history is kind of when it comes out of the piano part and then just does the dun 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 and then just kicks ass again. It's awesome. Number 6, despite the dog licking my nose line, I've got You Better You Bet, which I think Jason mentioned on that era they were going for more of like an 80s, let's fit in with the 80s more, and I think that's kind of maybe their biggest like poppier song, but I think it's really good and really well written. Number 5, a little known song that they started doing around 04 and 05 that didn't make Endless Wire. I think it's a B-side when they released Tea and Theater as a single, but I'm not positive. It's called Real Good Looking Boy. Specifically, if you want to check out the song, check out YouTube. There's a live performance of it. It's basically a song that at times rips off I Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis. It's a song about Elvis and kind of Pete's growing up and wants to feel attractive and desirable like Elvis is, and he confronts his mother and his mom's like, you're not as attractive as Elvis, but it's a really sweet song. Number 4, I'm going with the song everyone knows and at one time probably thought was called Teenage Wasteland, but it's Baba O'Reilly. It's that great teenage anthem, really awesome sturdy drum part that drives the whole thing. One of the best performances by a male vocalist in rock history, I'd say, with Daltrey there. Number 3 from the same album, I've got The Song Is Over, my favorite song from Who's Next. Love the piano part. The guitar tone is amazing. Townsend's voice sounds amazing. Number 2, I'm going with a song that I don't really think sounds like any other Who song. I'm going with Eminence Front. It's groovy, it's funky, it's got a really cool kind of drum loop on it, and then some of my favorite guitar playing of Townsend. Love the come and join the party line. Townsend sings on it, and I think we've been talking about this, and I think we might need to be honest with ourselves and just flat out say we like Townsend more as a singer. I know my dad does, so he would agree. My number 1 song is going to be a piece from Tommy called 1921. I love this song. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. I think even if it wasn't on Tommy, it could stand on its own as an all-time great pop song. Has maybe my favorite line in history when he says, I had no reason to be over-optimistic, but somehow when you smile, I could brave bad weather. Really sweet, beautiful playing on it. I love the call and response in the chorus. I didn't hear, I saw it, you didn't hear. It's great. Really pretty song, quick to the point. My favorite moment in Tommy. So those are my top 10, but there were a lot to choose from.
It's tough kind of with the Who to pick out the songs on albums like Who by Numbers and Tommy, because they kind of all fit so well together that like separately they might not be quite as memorable. So it's tough. So this list is probably dominated by tracks that kind of just stand out a little bit more. Number 10, I have Substitute, non-album track, inspired by Smokey Robinson's Tracks of My Tears, actually, which one of my favorite songs, and just a really kind of cool. Townsend was obsessed with the lyrics, and he kind of wrote it in response. Number 9 for me is going to be My Wife from Who's Next. Actually, the only song from Who's Next on my list, and it's going to be probably the cheesiest, kind of cheeky, exaggerated John Entwistle classic. I love the horns and the way it kind of completely different. The rest of the album is kind of serious, and this track is just like comes out of nowhere. Number 8, My Generation, just that kind of stuttering vocal performance from Roger Daltrey, just an incredible bass line, drums, just for a song from 1965, just incredible. Number 7, I have Dr. Jimmy from Quadrophenia, real kind of Jekyll and Hyde, obvious kind of takeoff, kind of 2 distinct parts that kind of work their way throughout the song, but I think it sounds great. Number 6, I have 1921 from Tommy. I like what Kramzer said. And, it's tough to pick out those individual tracks from an album like Tommy because they all kind of flow together. But I think 1921's a real standout, kind of different, the unique call and response. Great track. Number 5, 515 from Quadrophenia. The big horns, kind of an R&B feel to it, which I really like. Huge drum sounds, maybe not quite as serious as the rest of the album. Number 4 from the Who Sell Out, I have I Can See for Miles. Really kind of like an amazingly different song from the period, very kind of hard rock without really any blues influence to it. Really like the bitter biting vocals. I think just the whole thing sounds really great. Number 3, I have The Real Me, classic John Entwistle bass line. He actually wrote it as a joke. He was just like, I'm just going to play this. He recorded it in one take, which is mind-blowing. Just if you listen to it, it's completely virtuistic, just incredible all over the place, but somehow it kind of anchors the song and fits. Just incredible. Number 2 from Tommy, I have The Acid Queen. And this is this track that just kind of stood out to me from that album from the first time. I love the performance by Townsend on vocals. It's hard rocking, great drums. It just has like an interesting kind of off feel. I don't know how to like pinpoint it. It doesn't sound like anything else, I think, in rock history or on that album.
Quick note, when in '89 they did Tommy, they did have Patti LaBelle come in and do The Acid Queen, which was pretty awesome. And they had like Phil Collins, Cousin Kevin was Billy Idol. It was pretty cool.
That is cool. But my number 1 is going to be Love, Rain, or Me. I love the way it kind of, it's the culmination of little motifs and song pieces that Townsend introduces throughout the album. You can hear it in some of the opening tracks, and I think again later in the album. And then it kind of all comes together with that incredible kind of dissonant piano intro. I think it's Daltrey's best vocal performance. The drums are huge. The bass is huge. The descending guitar line in the chorus just always jumps out to me. I just think it's perfect. The synths sound amazing. It kind of gets out of place in the later Who albums, but I think on Quadrophenia and this song in particular, the synths just have a perfect sound. The song feels like it's coming at you from everywhere, like a storm or something. I just think it's a perfect track and a perfect ending to my favorite Who album.
All right. My top 10 songs. Going to start off at number 10 with I Can't Reach You from the Who Sell Out. Number 9, I've got the only track to make my list from the Who by Numbers, even though, as I said in the previous video, there were like 5 or 6 songs from that record in contention, going with How Many Friends. And number 8, going back to the Who Sell Out with Mary Ann with the Shaky Hand. Just a really cool track there. And then at number 7 from Who's Next, Going Mobile. I think it was Cram that said he prefers Pete Townsend maybe, and I definitely agree with that. Probably prefer Roger Daltrey when he's singing kind of in his quieter voice, not doing the big belting rock star shtick. And when he sings like that, he actually sounds a lot like Pete Townsend. They've got kind of a Lane Staley, Jerry Cantrell thing going on where they're singing harmonies and you can't tell you can't tell who's who, and I really like that. At number 6, I've got the only track on my list from Quadrophenia, I'm One, kind of a more acoustic track, which I really like a lot. Number 5, it's kind of, as Cram said, a little difficult to pick songs from Tommy because they sort of come in and out, but I'm with both of you guys. I think the best sort of standalone track on that record is 1921. At number 4, I've got The Kids Are All Right. Great early single. I love it, the way it comes in with the vocal harmonies. Number 3, I've got Substitute, along with both of you guys. At number 2, I've got another non-album single, Pictures of Lily. Just really love the melody on that one. And at number 1, I've got Getting in Tune. Just a really great song, great vocal performance, kind of big and anthemic without being too bombastic. Really like it a lot.
Yeah, I kind of wish Daltrey had more of that somber tone with some of his singing. It's really one of the only times where he's like mopey.
All right, well, guys, you know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, and comment below with your favorite Who songs. We will be back with one more Who-related video tomorrow, and we will see you then.